Hi, friends. Welcome to Joy for Life podcast. My name is Ace, and I am energized to talk to you about joy, life, love, and everything in between. Okay, so we've all been through some things. We've all, well, maybe not Sir Reggie the cat, but we've all been through some things. Even Lady Bell, the cat, she's been through some stuff. And the thing that I've loved so much about all the things that I've been through, even though some things were like, oh, I wish I'd never experienced that, right? But what I love the most is my ability to be like, to still remain and still to persevere, and my faith, my unending prayers fail to cease. Never stop praying. My entire life is a prayer. My entire existence is a prayer. My entire being right now is a miracle. Now, did I always believe that? Did I always even have this language or the words to say out loud, I am a miracle? My entire life is a prayer. I'm a walking prayer. I am a moving meditation. Everything I touch, everywhere I go is guided by peace. No. Where it came from was when I started my yoga journey 15 plus years ago. And it was about 4 years after the death of my mother that yoga called me in. And we've talked about this, but really having this practice of like being all about yoga and then stepping away from it. And then in the studios every single day in a class, and then not practicing for months at a time. And then going back in, there was this like, okay, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until I finally set up, as we talked about in a few episodes ago, fertile ground in LA. Talked about setting up roots so that I can clear any sort of like unfertile ground, clear any sort of energy that is not like mine to carry, forgive those who've hurt me, forgive myself for what I did not know when I did not know, right? So a lot of that came from a lot of these affirmations that we're going to talk about today to empower ourselves through these hard times is like from direct experience that I had from losing my mother, completely shutting down, to being in yoga, completely shutting down even after the most delicious yoga classes, and still being a hot mess for several years after that, because no one was holding my hand as I was unlearning, as I was like breaking veils, as I was grieving. No one was holding my hand to guide me through that process. But yoga and my faith in God, the fact that like I just never stopped praying, even when I wasn't even saying prayers. It was what I talked about before. Even when I didn't see the miracles in front of me, I still in my subconscious kept believing in miracles. So we're going to go through some of my favorite affirmations today, some that, helped me get through the worthiness of being financially abundant, getting through emotional hardships, breakups to breakthroughs. We're going to go through being in the already, trusting that everything that you have is already here and already on its way. We're going to talk about hair. We're going to talk about the power and the affirming energy that I had and the fear that I had when I cut my hair, but saying to myself, I am still worthy and beautiful and enough. And then also the ability to continue to say yes to yourself, saying yes to you, yes to what you want out of this life, and yes to the unknowing. So if y'all want to grab some paper, or if you can't grab any paper now, that's fine. You're driving or whatever, come back to it, take some notes. And I definitely want to hear from y'all after this episode. So as I mentioned before, coming to yoga 4 years after the death of my mother. And then several years later, moving to Los Angeles. Let's see, that was 4 years after the death of my mother. So that's 2006, 2007, I really started a yoga practice. And then moving to Los Angeles in 2011, after my first few classes, I really want to become a yoga teacher. And moving to LA, where I'd set up roots. So it was time for me to be rooted here and be rooted somewhere and really get to going and what I really wanted to do in this here life. So I started a yoga teacher training program, and then that lasted for about 4 to 6. What was it? Started in, I want to say, January, and we finished up in April. So about 5 months or so, really kind of like learning as much as I could about yoga in this 200-hour yoga teacher training program. And it was so like what I learned in yoga teacher training that still stands out to this day is how much I was not exercising my throat chakra, how afraid I was of getting it wrong, how nervous I was of not knowing enough, because if I don't know enough, if I get it wrong, will I be enough? Will I belong at these tables that I'm at? Will I be in this beautiful corporate environment at this like super awesome global real estate company? Gosh, will they think I'm a fraud because I don't know everything and I'm not as seasoned as everyone else around me? Yoga teacher training, if y'all have not done one yet, and I tell everybody this, prepare to be changed. Prepare to be changed, prepare to be unearthed. And that is where the embodiment of the I am truly started. So the I am brave, I am beautiful, I am love, I am strong, I am free were really some of the first affirmations that I started to say to myself when I would get nervous right before I started teaching it was even like community classes that I did when we were in yoga teacher training. So it was started there. And I got these like, it wasn't like they didn't come from any specific place, but I was reading a book, I believe by like Danielle Laporte, or maybe it was one of her journals, when I was like, oh, what's an affirmation? I was like, oh, this is interesting. I never heard this before. So I learned about affirmations through my study of what Danielle Laporte had put out there in some of her journals. I was like, okay. So some things landed with me. Some things were like, okay, I don't even know what any of that means, but let me dive deeper. And so I did. And so what came about from that was like, okay, I am free. I am free. Even if I wasn't free. Even if I wasn't free. And I talked about this, like, not on this podcast yet, but in 2017, I was engaged. I was engaged to be married, and I was super excited about it. And I ended up going to a retreat in Italy, a yoga retreat in Italy, for first time in Italy, whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am in Europe. I'm at a yoga retreat here. I can really do this. I can really do this. Like, and okay. And I was like, I am free. And then I realized I was like, but that pesky little thing about just getting engaged. And I was like, well, I didn't think about, okay, I need to figure this out. I need to figure out what we're going to do in our relationship in order for me to do this. But I just immediately start to feel I am free here. I am free in this traveling. I am free being here on this yoga retreat where I got to teach some classes. It was with my beautiful sister, Jennifer Pastelov. It was one of her many retreats like that I gotten a chance to attend and teach at with her. And really the first retreat I've ever gone to was with her in Ojai, California back in 2011. So I knew then that, okay, I'm free, but I didn't feel it authentically like I do now. I knew I was not free because I was still being held down in this person that I so desperately thought I wanted to be, but yet I didn't actually want to be anymore. I didn't want to be getting married anymore. I didn't want to do life in the way with this person anymore. It wasn't like, and it was no, and this is like, again, back to of the forgiveness conversation. If y'all have listened to that episode, like how I had to forgive myself for letting go of this codependent energy that we both embody. But I had to forgive myself and I had to forgive him in as a part of, again, the healing journey, right? Being the change agent for what I wanted to see and how I wanted to show up in the world. So affirmations came by way of like lived experiences for me. I am free, I am free, I am free. It started the launch of like a bunch of workshops and the signature candle for my candle collection, the I Am candle collection. I am beautiful. Another affirmation that I say to myself every single day now, because at the end of that relationship that ended, that we broke up, shortly after I came back from Europe. Then I came back and I was like, I don't feel very beautiful. I don't feel beautiful because what am I going to do now? He's all I knew as far as a relationship goes, like especially in Los Angeles. I was like, I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. Well, I thought I was free, but now I'm really free. I don't even know if I want to be free anymore, right? And so, but I had to keep saying that to myself because I was like, yes, of course I am beautiful. Of course I am free. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. And then I started to feel it. I started to feel it in my body. I started to feel it in my bones. I started feeling it in the way I stood up tall. I allowed my spine to be elongated, how I breathed, how I showed up into rooms. But it took some time. It took some time. And I say, and I've been saying this, and I have a few more that I'll share with y'all too that I love so much, is that you're saying these affirmations and sometimes it might feel really silly. Sometimes you've said some things to yourself. You're like, this isn't even true. This is silly, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, so what? Say it anyway. We already know what the ladder is of we can say really like crappy things about ourselves. We can think really crappy things about ourselves, and that doesn't serve us. That doesn't help us feel better. It just makes us the butt of our own jokes, which is like, that's just like a waste of time and it's a waste of energy. So why not say things, even if you don't mean them, that are beautiful and love-filled to yourself, right? And so that's another thing that coming back to, I am brave. I am brave enough to take hold of the reins. I am brave enough to let go. I am brave enough to, let go of living in the shadow of my mother who passed away. I am brave enough to let go of the things that she taught me that she didn't even realize she was teaching me with regards to finances, with regards to worthiness, with regards to men, with regards to relationships, right? It was like an unworthy energy that she presented that I'm sure she didn't know that's what she was doing, right? But that's what I learned. And it really held me back for a long time of affirming that I am brave enough to invest in myself. I am brave enough to live an abundant, full life. I am brave enough to have a stable financial existence. I am brave enough to not be afraid of money, of having money, of hearing that, okay, I have this money and I'm not worthy of it. So let me just spend it all, let it all go because I'm not deserving of this. No. And raise your hand if you have been there. I'm raising both of them right now. If you have been on the side of like thinking you're not deserved of something that you work really hard for, because you are brave. You are enough. You deserve to have this full financial abundant existence. And not everything needs to be relegated to money with regards to abundance, but you work hard, you are paid a rate, and you ask for that rate because you've invested in yourself. And that was a big thing. Actually, even before we recorded, I was talking to a few dear friends about just kind of like what to charge, how to charge, and you're like figuring it out, especially as an entrepreneur. Like, what am I worth, right? And my beautiful coach says, well, why are we relegating it to worthiness? How does it feel? So when you're saying to yourself, I am brave, how does it feel to say I'm brave and abundant and all my finances are taken care of and I have so much money in the bank? I am just like living in the overflow. How does that feel to say it out loud right now? Because for a long time, I couldn't say those words without choking up. Because I was like, what do you mean I have because like what's reflected right now is not so, but it's like, that means we're one-dimensional and we're not one-dimensional creatures at all. I'm looking beyond and I'm looking at what's already on its way. And again, that's not easy. It's not easy, especially when you've not been taught it and you've been taught to operate in survival mode. Moving out of survival mode, y'all, because we were surviving. And now moving in this thriving, powerful energy. So saying to yourself, I am brave. Like I wrote this out. I am a woman. I am a business owner. Like I am a mother. I am a wife. I am a partner. I am a lover. I am a speaker. I am a host. I am a multi-millionaire. Everything that I have, I am, because I am is reflective of being of God. That's just what I believe. So God is all of these things. God is everything. Love, his essence, my essence. I am love. And that's the next one we're going to move to. I am love. I am love. I am love. Y'all saying it out loud to yourself. I am love. Because the workshop that I led after my relationship ended was called Breakups to Breakthroughs. Now, was I 100% ready to lead this workshop on how to guide people through a breakup to make it a breakthrough? No, not so much, but guess what? I did it anyway. Because I knew that the love and the hurt that I was feeling in my, or the hurt that I was feeling in my heart, there was love there. There's still love there. I'll forever be grateful for my ex because I live in LA and I'm thriving in LA because I met him here. And he was like not the biggest reason, but let's be honest. He was one of the biggest reasons why I moved here. My brother and sister-in-law were here. The kids were here. But yeah, it was that relationship. So I'll forever hold love and space in my heart because we also share this amazing life together too. It just ended, and that's okay too. Part of forgiving when things end, forgiving when things are expired. That's another beautiful, again, affirmation. I am loved because I am forgiven. I am loved because I forgive with ease. I am love. I am love. I am love. Like love is in everything that I touch. Love is in everything that I do. I was talking to a friend the other day and I was asking him like what his walk on song is, right? I don't know if anybody watched Family Guy, but I can't remember the guy's name, but he has this walk on song, right? And he was like, well, what would yours be? And I said, Love on Top by Beyonce, hands down, every single time. It's love on top. It doesn't matter when I'm walking onto my to do my TED Talk. It doesn't matter where I'm going or what I'm doing. I'm being walked in on Love on Top by Beyonce because love is literally in everything that I do. And I feel like that song and playing before I hit the stage is going to give people an idea of the energy that I'm about to bring. Love, fun, joy, forgiveness. I am love. I am joy. I am forgiven and I forgive with ease. And so the next affirmation, a part of this whole journey for me being to get here in this joy for life embodier, right? Is I am, oh my gosh, this one, y'all, this the one, this the two, this the three. I am joy. I am joy. Hello, I am joy. I am joy. And really being okay, what is joy? What does that mean? I talked to y'all about this in my first episode. Why do I get to be this expert on joy? Because I remained and I pursued and I did it if I was scared, I did it anyway. That's joyful. Grieving, but still staying, believing in miracles. That's joy. I am joy as a part of this beautiful candle line. I am joy. I am joy. And I was I did this again in a space where I was you know what? I'm not feeling very joyful right now, but I said this affirmation when I was struggling with the fact of leaving my corporate job. I was well, what am I going to do now? And think okay, because I don't have a bunch of capital saved. I didn't have any investors, but I know that I am put here to bring joy to the world. I'm put here to bring joy to the masses. I'm put here to bring joy to people who are going through the breakups and the breakthroughs. I'm here to bring joy to people who are going through grieving the death of their mother, grieving the death of a parent, grieving the death of a relationship. We were all grieving the death of the world in which we knew it when a global pandemic happened in 2020. We're all great. We're all still moving through it now. Some of us are now feeling the effects of it, right? There's no timeline on it. And I knew I am joy. I am joyfully abundant. I am joyfully forgiven. I am joyfully enough. I am joyfully ready. I am joyfully perfect in the imperfectness that this life presents us in the way in which we move as humans. I am joyful in all of it. So I was listen, again, being in the already, everything that I need is already on its way. So I knew In order for me to really be ready, to really feel in this joy, to really feel beautiful, to feel love, to be brave, to be free, it was time for me to, again, continue releasing and letting things go that were holding me back. My hair, my crown. Whoo, y'all. Okay. So listen, I love hair. Hair means a lot to a lot of people. But for me, joy, or excuse me, for me, my hair was like, it was a big deal because a lot of people around me made it a big deal. Growing up, my mom made it a big deal. Aunts, cousins, things like that made it a big deal. But I felt like, especially after my relationship ended, I just come back from this transformational experience in Bali. Like I was like, this hair, it's got to go. I cut it for the first time. I shaved my head in 2011 when I was like, okay, I want to do something different. And it wasn't as like thought provoking, right? Like as it was in 2011. It wasn't as intentional as it was in 2019. In 2011, I just wanted to do something different. I was like on a hike in LA and I was hot. I went to my barber and I was like, shave it off. That was it. But in 2019, it was like, I'm spending too much time, too much energy doing my hair, being mixed up in what this means for other people and not what it means to me, focused on the outer shell, making everybody else around me comfortable. Took me back to the time when I was pretending to be happy after my mom died to make other people around me feel comfortable. I was like, went to my stylist and was like, let's cut it, let's shave it again. And since in 2019, I was single. I was not in a relationship. I was like, okay, am I still going to be appealing to men? Am I going to be feminine enough? Am I going to be sexy with no hair? Am I going to be, whatever, like, am I going to be beautiful? Am I going to be considered beautiful because I have no hair? I shaved my head all off, right? And it's like, well, yeah, it took some time to get to this place of like, all right, I'm going to shed that layer. I'm going to shed that because I'm going to shed that untruth. I'm going to let that veil go because it's hair. It's just hair. But for some people, and for me for a long time, it wasn't just hair. It was hiding. I was hiding my face. I was hiding behind it, just like hiding behind so many other things to make other people around me feel comfortable. And so I felt so empowered and yet scared at the same time, shaving my head. But I did it anyway because I knew that in order for me to lighten my load, to really be operating in this place that I'm supposed to be doing, I needed to be true about it. I needed to be not new to this, but true to this and brave in my pursuit of joy and remain to be joy, to be beautiful, to be love, to be free, to be brave, to be ready, and to be perfect, right? Perfect in the imperfectness and the unearthing and just so many things, just settling into who I am as this beautiful, bright being. I was ready. And the time was then, and the time is now for you, my friends, to really embody who you are ready to settle in as this bright being light, this beautiful human, this brave, scared soul who is ready to be free, who is ready to be the love that we all are, that we're born in love, we're made of love, and love is our essence. To trust the feeling, to move intentionally, to move in love instead of moving in spaces that just to make other people feel comfortable. So I am excited to bring you into this place of saying yes, yes to you, yes to me, yes to this light that I hold in this life, yes to what I'm put here to do. I'm saying yes. And that might mean saying no. That might mean saying no to other people. It might mean saying no to a job. It might mean saying no to certain projects. It might mean saying no to a city that you're currently living in. Maybe it's time to take that leap and say yes to yourself to move to these places where the ground might not be so understood. So you can build your own fertile place in whatever city that's calling you, your own fertile place in whatever job or situation or relationship or creation that you're stepping upon, all right? So this is the thing. Now is the time. I am brave. I am beautiful. I am love. I am free. I am joy. I am perfect. I am ready. I am. And then you can list in all of those things. Like, I've not birthed children yet, but I'm definitely a mother. I'm not a wife yet, but I definitely am a wife. You affirm it. If that's what you want, I am a lover. I am a multimillionaire, because I'm saying that stuff rolling off my tongue. So when it arrives, because it's already on its way, I'm not surprised. It's like, oh, hey. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. So yeah, y'all, I want you to take this time, and I really want you to sit with these moments, sit with like where you are now, and speaking to yourself more kindly, saying to yourself, just even starting with, I am beautiful each day, looking at yourself in the mirror, looking at your beautiful eyes, studying your gorgeous face, looking at your beautiful body as you massage yourself, as you put oil on your body, you put your lotion on, you take your bath, you put you shower, you bathe, you lather. You are affirming, I am, I am, I am. I cannot wait to hear from you all and how this episode landed with you and some of your own personal I am statements. And if it feels silly, do it anyway. If it feels uncomfortable, do it anyway, because you're not alone. I am here. We are here. There's a community of people ready to hold you up, hold you in high regard. And again, like I said, I can't wait to hear from you all. So remember, I am brave. I am love. I am beautiful. I am joy. I am free. I am perfect. And I am ready. And I love you. Thank you.